Hello and welcome back to Hoosier History, Legends, and Heroes. This video is about our second road trip of 2021. This time we visited family in Virginia and also visited different places in Tennessee. Let me give you a few facts about Virginia. Virginia became the 10th state in the Union on June 25, 1788. The capital of Virginia is the city of Richmond. Old Dominion, Mother of Presidents, Mother of States are Virginia nicknames. 4 of the first 5 presidents were Virginians. Plus, it is the birthplace of more U.S. presidents than any other state. When Patrick Henry said the words, "Give me liberty or give me death," this happened on March 23, 1775 in Richmond. On October 19, 1781, British General Lord Cornwallis surrendered to General George Washington in the Battle of Yorktown, Virginia. Now for some facts about Tennessee. On June 1, 1796, Tennessee became the 16th state in the Union. The capital is Nashville. Volunteer State, Big Bend State, Hog and Hominy State are 3 nicknames for Tennessee. Elvis Presley's Graceland is in Memphis. The Country Music Hall of Fame and the Grand Ole Opry are in Nashville. The Great Smoky Mountains National Park has parts in Tennessee and parts in North Carolina. The park is the most visited national park in the United States. These are a few pictures of the beautiful mountain scenery that you will see when driving in Tennessee and Virginia. This is when you want to be the passenger in the car and not the driver, so that you can enjoy the scenery and not have to worry about driving. One place of interest we visited was Mendota, Virginia. Mendota is Native American for Bend in the River. At one time, Mendota was an important point for the railroad connecting Bristol to Hiltons, Virginia. Then the railroad stopped running through Mendota. Apparently, train tracks were removed in the 1980s. Needless to say, this would affect the whole town. The Mendota Trail Conservancy is now the owner of Mendota. There is an ongoing effort to bring new life back into the town. The store at Mendota was opened a few years ago by a Mendota native wanting to do her part to help the town thrive again. There is also the Mendota Trail. It is 12.5 miles where you can hike or ride your bike between Mendota and Bristol, Virginia. Mendota is also known as the hawk capital of the world. The reason for this is because more than 16 species of hawks fly down the spine of the Clinch Mountain every fall, heading south for the winter along the Appalachian Flyway. The Mendota Fire Tower is a great place to see the hawks, especially at the peak of migration in mid-September. Up to 1,000 birds per day can be seen flying by. Now we're going to visit the Carter family fold. And the Carter family was the first family of country music. The Carter family fold was established by Jeanette Carter to honor the memory of A.P. and Sarah Carter and their sister-in-law, Maybelle Carter. They helped in giving birth to country music beginning in 1927. The original Carter family lived where the fold is today. Maybelle Carter is the mother of June Carter Cash. June Carter married Johnny Cash in 1968. Jeanette Carter was the daughter of A.P. and Sarah Carter. You can see the boyhood home of A.P. Carter when you visit the fold. This building was originally A.P. Carter's Grocery, but is now the museum at the fold. The bottom picture is one of the views of the mountains when visiting the fold. Our next stop is the Natural Tunnel State Park in Duffield, Virginia. Thousands of years ago, Natural Tunnel was carved through a limestone ridge. It is more than 850 feet long and 10 stories high. Former politician William Jennings Bryan called the tunnel the 8th wonder of the world. There are a few ways to look at the natural tunnel. One way is to ride the chairlift down, and another way is to walk the tunnel trail. On the day that we went, the chairlift was not running, which meant we were walking down the side of the mountain. As the marker tells you, the trail makes a long, steep series of switchbacks into the natural tunnel gorge. Long and steep. They were not kidding. Thankfully, there are benches and handrails located on the way down, which means they are also there for the way back up. All I could think of was, dear merciful heaven. On the long way down, you will find a platform that has a marker telling you not to look up. Well, of course, you're going to look up. Across the gorge, you will see what is called Lover's Leap. Legend has it that a Cherokee maiden and a Shawnee warrior fell in love and wanted to marry. They were not allowed to marry because they were from different tribes. Since they were denied their dream of marrying, they decided to meet in the dark of night. They climbed to the top of the cliff. As the sun rose the next morning, they jumped to their deaths, hoping to be united in the afterlife. If I were the maiden, and when we were at the top of the cliff, getting ready to jump, I would have declared my love for him, and with tears in my eyes, I would say to him, "You go first." When you get to the bottom of the gorge, you can see where the train emerges from one side of the tunnel and enters the other side with a large open area. We were lucky enough to be there when a train carrying coal passed through the tunnel. I joined the family walking down to view the tunnel and walked back up, or should I say, stumbled down the trail, and was so happy to get to the top of the mountain again, I could have cried with joy. My nephew told me if I threw myself down and kissed the ground, he would disown me. Okay, I'm exaggerating just a little bit, but I will say it was definitely worth the trek down to see everything. I'm very glad that I did it, and that I'm still alive to talk about it. One thing that is neat about the city of Bristol is that driving down State Street in Bristol, one side is Tennessee and the other is Virginia. Also, Bristol is considered the birthplace of country music. Okay, I've talked about Virginia. Now I'll talk about a few places in Tennessee. In Limestone, Tennessee is the Bright Zoo. It is smaller than our zoo here in Indianapolis and is definitely a lot different, but we still enjoyed ourselves. You can feed a few animals while you are there. We fed the giraffes. And this is the first time we saw anteaters and a Toulouse goose. In Kingsport, Tennessee, we visited Bays Mountain Park and Planetarium. There are a lot of different things to see and do. There is the Lily Pond Cove, and you can rent the shelter out on the dock. There is Bays Mountain Lake and Dam. You see the dam before you reach the parking area. There are barge rides, camping and fishing. There are 40 miles of trails for hiking, with 26 of those approved for mountain biking. There is also a wide selection of animals to see. We watched the wolf feeding on the day that we went. In 2009, the planetarium that is at Bays Mountain was renovated. If you like to look up into the sky, this is for you. The shows that they have are 40 minutes in length. This is another great place to take the family for a day or camping for a longer stay if you want. Next was a visit to Rogerssville, Tennessee. We wanted to visit Rogerssville because Davy Crockett's grandparents, David and Elizabeth Crockett, are buried in Rogers Cemetery. The vine-covered walls surround the small graveyard. The top picture on the left is the marker for his grandparents. The top right picture is the marker of Joseph Rogers, who founded Rogerssville in 1786. On the way back to Indiana, we stopped at this overlook in Tennessee. It was beautiful. This historical marker is for Bean Station. It was established in 1776 as a frontier outpost by William Bean. It is considered one of the earliest permanently settled communities in Tennessee. During the Civil War, In December of 1863, there was the Battle of Bean Station, which was fought around the Bean Station Tavern. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoyed our second road trip to the beautiful states of Virginia and Tennessee. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share. Until next time,